Let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Relax your whole body. Take another deep breath in. Shiva. 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 Na Shiva. 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 Relax. Patanjali's Yoga Sutra begins, Atha Yoganuशासनम. Now we will look into the discipline of yoga. Now I'll enunciate the discipline of yoga. Shasana means rules that somebody else puts on you. Anushasana is the rules that you put on yourself. Do you see the difference? Shasana is the rules and regulations that the king or society imposes on you. Anushasana is the rules that you make on yourself, impose on yourself. Now, why yoga is called a discipline? Where is the need for a discipline? When does the need for a discipline arise? See, when you are thirsty and you want to drink water, we don't say, oh, this is a rule, you must drink water. Or you have taken a discipline to drink water. When you are hungry, you eat, you don't say, I have a discipline of eating when I have hunger. Do you see what I'm saying? Or you don't even say that, oh, I have a discipline of enjoying the nature. When it comes to the question of enjoyment, no discipline is necessary. Where does discipline come? Not somewhere where it is enjoyable at the very first step. A child never says, I have a discipline of running to my mother when I look at her. Discipline arises where something is not very charming to begin with. Isn't it? When you know that something would give a fruit which is very good, enjoyable, but the seed to begin with is not that enjoyable. When you are abiding in yourself, when you are in joy, when you are in peace or happiness, true happiness, then you are already in yourself. There is no discipline there. But when that is not so, the mind is wagging its tail all the time, then a discipline is essential so that it could calm down, it could come back to itself. The fruit of which is eventually blissful, joyful. Like a diabetes patient says, I have a discipline not to eat sugar. No? Or someone with a cholesterol says, I have to be disciplined, I shouldn't take too much fats. Because fats are, it's very nice to eat at that moment, and then later on it gives complicated results, fruits, which are not so pleasurable. That pleasure which comes after a certain discipline is really sattvic pleasure, long-lasting pleasure. That pleasure which is pleasurable to begin with but ends in misery is no pleasure at all. So discipline is necessary to have this authentic sattvic pleasure which comes after certain discipline. Discipline is not torturing oneself for nothing. That's no discipline. Purpose of discipline is to attain joy. Do you see the difference? Certain times people impose discipline on themselves. It doesn't give any joy to them or any joy to anybody else at any time. This is tamasic. There are three types of happiness. One is the sattvic happiness. That is, to begin with, it is not so pleasurable, not so nice, but the end is always, it leads to joy. This is sattvic happiness. Rajasic happiness is, the beginning appears very good, but ends up in misery and suffering. This is Rajasic happiness. Tamasic, there is no happiness, but it appears to be happiness, but it is misery from the beginning to the end. No discipline essential for tamasic happiness. Discipline is not there. Lack of discipline is tamasic happiness. And wrong discipline is Rajasic happiness. Or lack of discipline, you can say. And then discipline for sattvic happiness. So that is where it is essential to begin with. To bear that is uncomfortable is discipline. It need not be uncomfortable all the time, but if it is uncomfortable, to be able to bear and move through it, you need a discipline. That is why Patanjali begins with a now. When now? When things are not clear, when your heart is not in the right place. Now, Yoganushasana, I will enunciate yoga. Now let us look into the rules of yoga. Not exactly rules, the discipline of yoga. So it's nobody's imposition, it is self-imposed. See what all you have imposed on yourself. Morning you wake up, you brush your teeth. Before going to bed, you brush your teeth. This is your discipline. But this has been your imposed, self-imposed from childhood, isn't it? Maybe when you are a kid, mother had to impose it on you. Once it became a habit, and when you understood it is good for you, and then it is no more mother's rule. It's now your rule, isn't it? Like that, keeping yourself clean, hygiene, exercising, meditating, being kind, considerative, not being rude. All these rules that you have imposed on yourself are all disciplines. Isn't it? Now, what does this discipline do? Discipline to unite yourself, unite all the loose ends of your existence. Tata drishtu swarupe avasthanam. It puts you onto yourself. Tada drishtu swarupe avasthanam. Otherwise, what has been happening? Vritti sarupya mitaratra. Your mind is engaged, is caught up in outside world all the time. Eyes open, you are caught up in all that you see, you smell, you hear, you touch, you taste. And when you are in waking state, you are constantly engaging in the activities of the senses, or else you go back to sleep or to dreaming state where you are completely shut off. In sleep and dreaming, the same memories come, but you are never to yourself calm, quiet, uniting all the loose ends of your existence. You become the object of your perception. You know, if you see villagers or very innocent people or even children, when they watch a movie, they are so totally involved in the movie. Isn't it? Nobody exists, just the movie is existing that moment. So if you are sitting simply or without doing anything, you may have backache, pain, legs will hurt, or back. You don't feel any pain or anything. You don't feel your body at all. You don't even know you are sitting. That is the movie's interest. Right? What has happened? Your consciousness assumed the form of that movie, of that vritti. Are you getting what I'm saying? You know, once in a village, somebody was watching the movie and the people saw that hero is being tortured by villain. And people stood up really with their sticks and stones. Come on, I am going to hit you now. Rush toward the stage. It's said of a great reformist, he was watching in India, who was watching a drama, And the drama was so good, very well acted by the villain. And this gentleman just threw his slippers, took his slippers and threw it on him. Because he was so mad at the villain of the drama. That how could it be so? And that villain really took that slippers or shoes as a sign of honor. He said that means I could entrance you like that. So my acting was so good that you could throw your shoes on me, chappals on me. Our consciousness assumes the form otherwise. Whole purpose of yoga is to be unto oneself, to bring an integrity in you, to make you a whole. Whole. Yoga is making you whole. Now, see, you are looking at me. Become aware of your eyes that is looking at me. The pair of eyes that are looking at me. Are you aware of your eyes right now? And become aware of the mind that through those eyes looking at me. Are you? Now for a moment close your eyes. Just squeeze your eyes, feel your eyes. And take your attention from the eyes to the mind that's all over your head. Now become aware of your whole body, your heart, and the very center, core of your existence. The I that is you. And rest and relax there, right there. This moment you are not interested in seeing anything, smelling anything, hearing anything, or tasting anything, or feeling or touching anything. Retrieve your mind from all the five senses to the core of your heart or your existence. This is Drashtuhu Swarupe Avastha. In the form of the seer, abiding there is yoga. Abiding in the form, in the nature of the seer is yoga. Whenever you experience joy, ecstasy, bliss, happiness in life, knowingly or unknowingly you are abiding in the form of the seer, in the nature of the seer. Otherwise, at other times, you are with different activities of the mind. You become one with different activities of the mind. Vritti sarupya mitratra. You assume the form of the mind at other time. Activities of the mind. What are the activities? Is vrittayaha panchataya. The modulations of mind are of 5 forms. Klishta, aklishta. Difficult, some are problematic, some are non-problematic. There are certain vrittis of the mind which are problematic, which causes trouble, difficulty, and certain others do not cause any difficulty. Pleasurable and unpleasurable vrittis. Now, what are those 5? Pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, smritayaha. 5 modes of consciousness arises in your self. 5 modes. 5 modes in the mind. We call mind or consciousness, chitta. It's all the same. Different modes of consciousness. What are they? Pramana. The mind is engaged in wanting a proof. Are you in Switzerland? Right now? You say yes. How? You have a proof in the mind. Yeah, I see these Alps, the mountains, water, all this. Whatever you see now, these are the proof. Are you cold? Say yes, I am. Yes, nobody need to tell me. This is pratyaksha. 3 types of pramana. Pratyaksha, anumana, agama. Pratyaksha means obvious, experiential. Our mind constantly wants to have some obvious, solid, experiential proof. This is one mode of activity of the mind. Another is anumana. Anumana means it's not so obvious, but you guess. And whatever you guess, you believe in it. The guessing of the mind. This is called anuman. And then agama is the scriptures. Because it is written in black and white. Believing in it. These are 3 types of proofs you look for. Even today in certain remote villages, in the third world countries, anything that is printed is biblical for them. Is the gospel truth. See, it's in print, written. Many people follow it. It must be truth. Many people say something, then that must be right. You can fool 1 or 2%. You can't fool thousands of people. Thousands are not fools to follow. If there are fools, okay, I can also be a fool. Mind goes that way. The proof mind takes from scriptures or from groups. Agama pramana. Constantly you are looking for proof of something or anything. This is one mode of activity. Yoga is when you drop this, then alone you can abide in the self. Do you see what I'm saying? Retrieving from this activity of mind of wanting proof is releasing from that one vritti or activity of the mind back to the self. You need proof of whether you are in Switzerland or not because your senses will tell you. But you don't need a proof of whether you are here or not through your senses. Are you getting this point? It's very delicate. You could be taken to Austria or even somewhere in Canada and you can see the same snow mountain, same lake. You may think, oh, this is Switzerland. No, it need not be Switzerland. Or your senses may fool you. But beyond proof is your feeling of I am. I exist. Abiding in the self does not need a proof. Do you get this point? Truth cannot be understood through proof. Anything that could be proven can be disproven also. Truth is beyond proof or disproof. Are you getting this point? God is beyond proof. You cannot prove God, nor can you disprove God. Proof is connected to logic, and logic is very limited in its purview. Same with enlightenment. Same with love. Someone's actions and behavior is not a proof for love. Many movie actors, actresses, they all exhibit a lot of love, romance in the movie, but not a drop of romance or that love would be there inside. Need not be there. They can just show it, isn't it? One can act very well love without feeling it, without living it. Self is beyond all this proof. The proof is one of the main activity of the mind. Proof is one of the main thing in the world that you are stuck on to. You want proof of everything. Whether someone loves you or not, you want a proof about it. Prove me. How? Isn't it? You want constantly proof for everything. Approval by everybody. This is not in the realm of the seer. Seer is beyond proof. Pramana, the first modulation or activity of the mind. And then viparyaya. Patanjali very beautifully describes each of these modulations. Viparyayo mithya jnana matadrupa pratishta. Pramana is the knowledge that the mind is constantly engaged in arguments, in proofs, in knowledge, analyzing, or wrong knowledge, wrong understanding. This moment you could be arguing, proving, or logic. There could be logic in your mind, looking for a proof, or it will have a wrong understanding. You will think things the way they are not. Do you see what I am saying? Most of the time you impose your own views and ideas and feelings on others when you think that is how they are. This activity of mind is called viparyaya. You have an inferiority complex and you suddenly see someone else's behavior very arrogant. They are not arrogant. You are not being ill-treated by them. You feel suddenly you have been ill-treated. You have not been respected because you don't respect yourself enough. You think others don't respect you. This tendency of your mind is viparyaya. Others would be shocked by your behavior. They see what happened to this person. They were all right till now. Till now suddenly they start behaving very funny. Have you noticed this? A very good friend of you suddenly start behaving very rude and very funny. And you wonder what has happened. What did I ever do to this person? You don't understand that they are cooking in their own mind, their own whatever soup. Why? Not because they are bad or anything. Just this activity of the chitta, of mind is coming up, is predominant. What is that? Viparyaya. Suddenly people feel they are not being loved. Many parents have this problem where children suddenly feel that the parents don't love them. And they are so perplexed. They didn't know what to do, how to prove them, how to show them. Because proof doesn't stand once viparyaya comes. The pramana does not stand, the logic fails. Because the mind is now more active on the second modulation, the second vritti, that is viparyaya. All logic fails. What stands is the wrong knowledge. Do you see what I am saying? Somewhere inside their own mind will bring up the logic, but that goes to the background again. Again the wrong knowledge stands a friend. Mithya jnanam atadrupa pratishta. This is viparyaya. And then third vritti is vikalpa. Vikalpa is sort of hallucination. Nothing of that sort exists, just mere words hover in the mind. This is called vikalpa. Like people sit and imagine that some Russians have planted in their ear, what is that, some microphone in their ears. Paranoid, huh? bug. All these fears, all these unfounded, baseless, mere sounds which do not carry much meaning, such thoughts, such ideas are called vikalpa. Fantasies. Mind either grows on proof or it goes on wrong knowledge, misconception, or fantasy. Fantasies are vikalpa. You see this? You sit and fantasize. Oh, you are 40, 50, 60. You sit and fantasize, if I were 16 again suddenly. How will it be? Maybe I'll go somewhere and I'll get a big haul of gold. I suddenly become rich. Then I will have my own helicopter to fly with. It's not just the children who fantasize. I tell you, adults also get into their own fantasies. This fantasy is called vikalpa, the third modulation of chitta. The vikalpa can be of two types. One could be of just joyful, pleasurable fantasy. Another could be of baseless fears. Do you see what I am saying? Even fear is a vikalpa. Oh, what will happen if I die tomorrow? An accident may happen to me. I may become disabled. These are all just simply sounds that has no value. Baseless fears in the mind or fantasies are called vikalpa. Then fourth one be nidra, sleep. If mind is not in any one of these three, the fourth place it goes is to go to sleep. And the fifth activity of this mind is smriti. That is remembering the experiences it had had. Remembering the past experiences. That is smriti. Now see, when you are awake, are you in any of these four states of modulations, four of these modulations? Then that is not meditation. That is not yoga. Are you looking for some proof? Are you debating in yourself? Are you hanging on to a wrong knowledge or concepts about how things are? You do not know how things are because the whole world is fluid. Nothing is solid here. Nobody is solid. Nobody's mind is solid. No thoughts are solid. The whole world is fluid, even airy, I would tell you. Go one step further, you say it's all airy-fairy. Wishy-washy, whatever it is. Anything can change any time, in any manner. The whole world is a field of all probabilities, possibilities. But your mind fixes things and people, definite items, quantities, quantifies them. This is how this is. This is set ideas of yours, using the proof or the wrong knowledge or the vikalpa, fantasies or fears, or dwelling in the past experiences. The 4 modulations of mind plus the sleep, that's another modulation, the 5th modulation, are the 5 different vrittis of the mind. Abhyasa vairagyabhyam tannirodha. How to get over the overpowering nature of these vrittis is through abhyasa and vairagya. Practice and detachment or centeredness. Tatra stito yatno bhyasaha. Among that, in that, to be, that which you do to be is to be there, where in the abiding in the seer is abhyasa. See there? That which you do to be there, no, here in this moment is abhyasa. If you could relieve yourself from the 5 modulation and just be here now, 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 now. See, bringing the mind to the present, not dwell on the past memories. A little effort is needed. That effort is called abhyasa. Now you see, now let's close our eyes. Let's close our eyes. Now you are not going to dwell on any logic. Free from pramana. Proof from anything now. If the mind is getting into proof, just know it, observe it. Oh, this is on proof. Just relax. Not interested in any wrong knowledge or right knowledge, whatever it is. Often when the mind is on wrong knowledge, it thinks it is on the right knowledge. So not even interested in knowing anything. Retrieving the mind from knowing also, knowledge. Not anxious to see, smell, touch, feel, understand anything. Not interested in understanding. Let things be the way they are. Who cares? Right or wrong, no judgment. Freeing ourselves from viparyaya. Vikalpas. See, if the mind is on some imagination, fantasy, just knowing that it is on an imagination or fantasy, it just drops off. Just like when you knew that you are dreaming, the dream vanishes. Knowing you are on a vikalpa, fantasy, the fantasy just drops off. Freeing from vikalpa. Freeing from the sleep. And relieving from all the experiences of past. Pleasant, unpleasant experiences gone. This moment, so new, so fresh, so total. All that you are, just this moment. Free, fresh and full. And being here, this moment, totally, is abhyasa. Mind might try to go to the past, in the smriti, may try to go off to sleep, may try to bring some logic and justification or some knowledge or some fantasies. Just knowing again that it is getting into the five vrittis without aversion or craving, coming back to the center. To the seer. This moment, again and again and again, is abhyasa. That much enough for today. Jai Gurudev.
Keep your eyes closed and a small revision of what you learned till now. It is very important to do. धीरे से आंखें खोल सकते हैं. Slowly you may open your eyes. It is very important to do some manana. Okay, we'll quickly do a revision and then we'll go for question and answers. Okay, so Gurudev started saying that Shasana means rules that somebody else puts on you, and Anushasana means the rules we impose on ourselves. Okay, and when is discipline needed? Discipline is needed when something to start with, it's not very joyful to begin with. It is not charming to start with. Then you require discipline. And when pleasure comes after a certain discipline, only then, it is sattvic pleasure. Okay. And when there is lack of discipline, we only feel that we'll get some joy, but we get no joy. It's only misery. That is tamasic discipline. Okay. And what is tamasic pleasure? And what is rajasic pleasure? To start with, it is pleasurable, but afterwards it's not. Okay. Then very important. Tada drushtu swarupe avasthanam. That is to abide in the seer, the one who sees. We can do a small meditation on that. Otherwise, what will happen? Vritti sarupyam itiratriya. Meaning that you will get engaged to the world, outside world, right? Gurudev gave few examples, like you are watching a movie, what happens? Our consciousness assumes the form of the outside, maybe a movie, maybe something else, Okay. Yoga is to bring integrity in you, to make you whole. Okay, like Gurudev said, drishti, scenario to eyes, eyes to the mind, like that. to come back to the seer. Okay. Abiding there in that form, in that nature is yoga. Whenever you have felt joy and blissful, it has somewhere or the other you have abided in that form, and that's why you felt that joy and bliss. Okay. Okay. When you are not inside, where are you? Outside. In outside, you are engaged in 5 things, Gurudev said. Which are the 5 things? First is pramana. Always asking for proof. Always asking for proof. Which are the 3 types of pramana? Gurudev said proofs. Obvious. Pratyaksha. It's very obvious. Second is anubhav. You guessed it. You guessed it. Third is agama. It is written in the scriptures. Okay. These 5 vrittis can be klishta, problematic, or non-problematic. Klishta or klishta, problematic or not problematic. Okay. First is pramana. Second is viparyaya, wrong knowledge. We think someone is something like that. We judge and we then impose our judgment on that person. It is not necessary that that person is like that, but we imposed our thoughts on them, our cooked up wrong knowledge on them, and we think we are correct. Okay, that is viparyaya, wrong knowledge. Then vikalpa. Vikalpa has 2 things: fear or fantasizing. Both are daydreaming. What if I go on my cycle and I get crashed? Fear. What if I become a millionaire? What if I become the president of US? Fantasies. So that is vikalpa. And then is nidra. Nidra is sleeping. Nidra is sleeping. You are unaware. You are just unaware, but you are not also resting in the seer. You are just not aware. Okay. And smriti. Smriti is your memory. You are remembering past experiences and everything. So that is smriti. You are not fresh and now and new. If you are in the now, then you are not in the memory. So Gurudev says if you are in this 5 modulations of consciousness, then you are not meditating. Which are that? Proofs, wrong knowledge, daydreaming, sleeping, or in the memories. These 5 things. So how to get out of these 5 things? Gurudev, before that, Gurudev says this world is liquid. Nothing is solid in this world. Airy fairy, Gurudev said, right? So remember that. So why? Because that will help you come out of vikalpa and also come out of questioning, proofs. Okay. Gurudev said abhyas and vairagya, practice and detachment. These are the 2 ways you can come back. What is practice? Practice is to abide in the self. The more and more you will abide in yourself, that again and again. And then Gurudev says again and again. It's like again and again. Continuously, you have to bring your mind back to the present moment. If you observe right now, you are meditating and you say, oh, I am engaged in the past experiences. Then you are in the memory and I'm not meditating. Suddenly you wake up and you bring your mind back in the present moment. You come to the present moment. Or you started fantasizing, then you come back. If the fear comes, then you come back. So all these 5 modes, are you asking for proof? All these 5 vrittis, the modulation of consciousness, you come back again and again. That is abhyasa. Detachment is right now I am not interested who is right, who is wrong. Right now I am not interested in fantasizing. Right now I'm not interested in smelling something. The 20 minutes I'm meditating, I am not interested in all those things. Letting go of old experiences. That is and do all this without craving and aversion. Now that is very important. You have to do this without craving and aversion. I am changing the security. So now you will be able to ask questions. Let me see if my Bluetooth is working. Hello. If anybody has any question, you can unmute and ask. There is no question. No question means only two things. Either you understood everything or you understood nothing. Which case is this one? I can see few old faces. You can turn on your camera. Dr. Dharti Shah. Anybody, any questions?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Okay, let us
Actually,
do a...
yeah. Can I say something? Most of
Yes,
the
I
time,
can hear you. Tell me.
most of the time, our mind is, we are constantly in these activities of the mind. But many of the times, we are not even aware of it. So I guess the first step is to get aware of it. If I talk of myself,
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. You said most of the time you are...
I said most of the time, we are not even aware of these activities of the mind.
So that is why Patanjali comes in place.
Yeah.
That is why Patanjali came, that we keep ourselves aware for it. Okay, now that is practice, right? Most of the time it is not like that. Then we have to be aware. That's why, see, you can sitting at home, you can listen to every knowledge given on the app, right? Why we do it in the group? So that we can discuss all those things. So yes, awareness. Now, whenever you are meditating, see, you had no idea these are vrittis and these are what and these are not. But now you can name them. You got it? The moment now you can name them, now you can also detach yourself from them. Okay, suddenly you are fantasizing and you say, no, no, no. Going into fantasy is not meditation. So let me come back and meditate. Okay, if there is fear coming up, you come back. So Gurudev says again and again, again and again. When Patanjali will speak about the 8 limbs, he'll talk about dharana, dhyan, samadhi. You have to keep coming back is dharana. Dhyan is a state where you are going out less and you are staying in more in meditation. Okay, and third is samadhi. You become one in that meditation. Then there is nothing in or out. You are just there. Okay. Okay, everyone is making notes, but you have to ask questions also.
Yeah, what is the fifth one you told? Fourth, Vipraya, Vikalpa, Nindra, Smriti. What is the fifth one?
Oh, yeah, noting it down. Fifth one might be Smriti. Smriti or Nidra?
No, Vipraya, Vikalpa, Nidra, Smriti. Fifth one.
No, you missed something in between.
No, Vipraya.
First was Pramana.
Pramana.
Pramana, Viparyaya, Vikalpa, then Nidra and Smriti. This is the sequence in which
Planning किसमें आता है? Planning अगर जैसे mind में होता है तो वो किस में आता है? Meditation में अगर planning होना शुरू हो जाता है.
Planning is also comes in fantasies.
Fantasies.
Kind of. Oh. Yes. Okay. Because you're using your judgment also. So there is a part of Vikalpa also. Viparya, wrong knowledge. But the point is, you are not in the present moment.
Wrong knowledge?
In planning, you are also using your past experiences. So you are also in the memory.
If future planning, if it is future planning.
Future planning, yes. But you are not in the present moment, so you are not meditating.
Yes. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, we'll do a small meditation. If anybody else has a question, they can ask now.
Pramana एक बार clear कर दीजिए, please. Pramana is not clear.
Pramana is asking for proof.
No, asking for proof, but how it affects the meditation?
I am sitting in meditation. Am I meditating? Is this meditation?
Acha.
Is this meditation
Doubting
any
yourself.
helpful to me?
Doubting yourself.
All this, what is this? My leg is paining. Should I straighten my leg or should I keep it like that? Huh? What is all this? Huh? I am feeling itching in my cheek. So does enlightened people itch themselves or they just stay like that and just observe themselves? What are this? You know, we are asked so many proofs. Gurudev said proofs is the main mode we stay in. It's the main module. Maximum time we spend in proofs. Do you love me?
Yes, yes,
Are you even listening to me?
yes, 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 yes,
Huh?
yes, yes, yes.
After the query, Viparya comes. See, I don't think that person loves me because you search for proof, you don't find proof, then you impose a fake lie on that person. That person doesn't love me. That person doesn't respect me. Where did it came from? From all this asking for proof. Gurudev spoke na inferior complex, inferior ego brings all this. So, yes. So, whenever you are sitting for meditation, sitting for kriya, you have to keep checking yourself. You cannot lose awareness. But sometimes we just phase out. Don't worry. Don't worry. Because meditation is way beyond the mind. So it's not necessary that mind can understand what meditation is. Gurudev said, God, enlightenment, seer are beyond the logic. So obviously your mind won't understand. So if sometime in meditation you just phase out and go somewhere, then don't worry, that is still meditation. Okay? Then don't put viparya on. Okay? So we'll meditate. Eyes closed. Okay, keep the eyes open only. Now what are you seeing? You are seeing, what are you seeing? Hopefully you are seeing me. And what is this for you? It is a scenery. It's a drishya. Correct? Now, when this drishya is you, when vrittis are, it's like you are abiding outside in the world. But Gurudev said, when tada drushtu swarupe avasthanam, when you abide in the seer, then you are meditating. Correct? Then we'll find out today who is seeing this scenery. You are watching this, right? Then who is seeing this scenery? So eyes are seeing, right? So close your eyes, full attention in the eyes. Squeeze the eyes a little bit if you want. Become aware of the eyes. And now relax. So eyes are the seer, right? Today we got it. But wait a second. Eyes is also not seeing. There is something behind the eyes which is seeing it. Our mind. See, our mind is seeing through the eyes. So the mind is the seer. Come back to the mind. Come behind the eyes to the mind. Stay there. Stay in the mind. Still found the fear. This is the fear. But wait a second. This mind is also not the one who is seeing. The fear is even behind. Maybe your intellect, which is saying yes, yes, no, no. Is this meditation working, not working? Bring the whole mind to the intellect. This is the seer. Finally, we found it. Keep your attention there. But I don't think intellect is the seer. There is something behind the intellect which is seeing. Maybe the memory. Come back in the memory. Maybe this is the seer. We experience all the things in the world through our memory, right? Through our past experiences. But wait a second. This is not the seer. This is just a storage, just a go down. So maybe the memory is also not the seer. Then who's the seer? Go behind the memory. In the I am. He finally found the seer. But wait a second. This I, individual identity, came later. Even behind this, where was I before birth? Where will I go after death? The I exist beyond this I also. So go behind this I. Go behind. Stay there. Who are you? What are you? Stay there. Abide in the sphere. What am I? Who am I? Just relax in this. Then you are in this self, abiding in the self. Then you are meditating. Slowly come back. Become aware of your thoughts, your breath, your body and surroundings. Only and only when you feel complete, you may slowly open your eyes. Jai Gurudev. Sangachatvam. Okay, tomorrow also we'll meet. 3 p.m. sharp we start. You all have to log in before that. Okay, and this video will be available on YouTube for some time. So please invite more and more people. If this was Hindi, it would be full. So we English people also need to do little efforts. Gurudev said, na, to come back in center, we need require little efforts. Pursharth. Okay. Jai Gurudev. Bye bye.
Thank you
Hi,
so
Aarti
much.
ji.
Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Most welcome. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev.